Welcome back guys. In the last two lectures we have learned how to make connection between the React and Firebase and how to send the data from React.js to the Firebase. So now in this video we are going to learn how to retrieve the data from the Firebase. So already we have one button which is used for button send data, and now I am going to create one more button for retrieving the data. Button on click retrieve data, and I will write the text as also same, retrieve data, Control S. So now I am going to create the function retrieve data, function retrieve data, Control S. Let me check whether we got the two buttons or not. Send data, retrieve data. So here by mistake I have clicked on this data sent successfully. I have clicked on send data button. That's the reason we got the message data sent successfully. Click on OK. So select real-time database. Now you should be able to see three documents. The third document is by mistake I have clicked, so I will click on this delete button. So it will be removed automatically, because in the second document and in the third document we have same data. Here you can see. So that's the reason I will remove this document. So now we have only two documents. And now in this retrieve data function we have to write the code to retrieve the data from the Firebase to the React.js. So whatever the operation it may be, to send the data, to retrieve the data, you have to use the same object that is called as the Firebase real-time database object. So the object name is Firebase real-time DB. Dot, here also we need to write same thing, ref. And in this we have to write the collection name, in which collection data you want to retrieve. So I want to retrieve the data which is called as the sample collection. So here I will write sample collection, and then we need to write one more function which is called as the on. So here we need to give two parameters. The first parameter is value, on value, on every value. That means for every time we have to get the data. So here you have to specify any one object in which you want to receive the data. So according to the Firebase terminology, you have to receive it in the snapshot. So you just need to type snapshot. You can use any one, but this is the favorable variable. So in this snapshot variable you will get the data. That means whatever the second parameter present in the on function, in that parameter only our data will be present. So here I will write console.log. So I want to print this snapshot data in the console. That means our data which is present in the sample collection. So I just write snapshot dot values, val function. You have to write function name also, val parenthesis. So this is the way to retrieve. According to send, comparing with the send data and retrieving data, send is somewhat difficult because you have to write push method, callback function, all these things, etc. So here it is very simple. While we are retrieving, you just need to type on function. In that on function you have to write two parameters. The first parameter will be always same thing, value. This is constant, you should not change it, never. And the second parameter will be object in which we are having the data, snapshot. So the object name is snapshot. With the help of the snapshot.value method we can able to print the data in the console. Now I will open React.js application output, refresh the page and open the console, inspect element. So here you can see initially there is no data in the console. Now I will click on the retrieve data button. Here you can see I have clicked the data, retrieve data button. Here you can see the data in the console. We got an array, or we can call it as object. So here you can see this is the data, and this is the first object, and this is the second object. So as I said, for every object in the Firebase we will be having one unique ID. So this is the ID. This will be unique for every object, like MongoDB. because MongoDB and Firebase use the same way of storing the data, which is called as the JSON format. Here you can see this is the ID of the first object and these are the properties in the first object. Email, first name, last name. The first email is firebase@gmail.com, first name is React.js, last name is object. If you want to confirm also, you can make it. Here you can see this is the first object and this is the second object. Email, first name and last name. Here also email, first name, last name. And if you see the output in this also, you can be able to see second ID, email, first name, last name. So it's very simple. You just need to write on function. In that on function you have to specify two things. The first one is value and the second one is snapshot. But here is one of the glitch in the Firebase retrieving process. It will retrieve the data with the help of IDs. So here you can see for every object we will have the unique ID. So if you know this unique ID only, you can get into this object. If you don't know this unique ID, you cannot enter into this object and you cannot specify the email, first name or last name. In normal application, we will get the data in the form of just arrays only. You will not have any these IDs like specific IDs, specific unique IDs, etc. But when it comes to the Firebase, we will have this unique ID. So there is some different process to display these values in the HTML page or to display these values without ID. So in the next lecture, we are going to discuss about how to retrieve the data to represent in the HTML page. That means you have to get the data in the form of array. In array index 0, you have to get these values. In array index 1, you have to get these values and you should not have this ID in our object. So in the next lecture, we are going to see that. Thank you.